Welcome back to the Time Machine, and we are at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, for the full-length Firecracker 400, the next race in the Batflip Podcast 2003 Cup Series. I'm joined, as always, by my broadcast partners, Cameron Rich and Carlos Acosta. And how about it, Cam? This one's going to be a long one and a crazy one.
Yes, sir, James, and it's the Time Machine for the track and the car tonight. Of course, we're on the 2007 scan of Daytona. Unfortunately, no lights ever installed at this track. The poles are there, but iRacing never actually modeled the lights in. So, going to be a full-time day race for all 160 laps here today. But you can see the weather and track facts there on the screen. Daytona, it is the same layout that we all know and love. 83 degrees here, and we have just kicked over into race. Qualifying is complete, and it looks like Johnny Thomas is going to be our pole sitter.
Yes, sir. Pole man Johnny Thomas with Tyler Fody, the point leader, next to him on the front row. And then we have the 95 of Gavin Hibbs next to the 93 of Joshua Chin on row 2. Row 3 features the 43 of William White and the 1 of Scott Crump. The 24 of Trey Holmes and the 59 of Caleb Pecumer, row 4. Rounding out the top 10, the 11 of Matthew Weeks and the 13 of Jared Rexing.
Starting in position number 11 is one of the only people that's happy this week from the World Cup games, Daniel Gore. He lines up next to Andrew Hardcastle. Chad Turnquist, he's lucky 13th today next to Bryce Fody in the number 80. Frank Fody lines up in 15th next to Cale Pocock there in 16th. 17th will be Jeff Ryan in the number 3 next to Josh Osborne in the number 07. Lineup 19th will be Andrew Lewis next to Kyle Hanshaw there in 20th.
Then we have the 60 of Austin and Abnett and the 34 of JP Phillips on row 11. 22 of David Westergreen and the 30 of Connor Thompson Gardner, row 12. Row 13 has the 32 of Dustin Tor and the 66 of Tommy Ryan. 7 of Ray Bracey and the 31 of Jared Campbell, row 14. Rounding out the top 30, the 63 of AJ Hobson and the 52 of Dave Huckleberry.
Section 31 will be Mark Rabilis in the 99. He'll line up next to Leighton Norgard there in the number 12. Dan Boutwell lines up 33rd next to Chad Frankenfield. He'll line up 34th. 35th driver is Curtis Cochran. He's the last driver to actually take a time here with a 51.544 next to Art Reimer there in 36. 37th will be Randy Yoakum next to Michael Goodman there in 38. And then 39th. And a shotgun on the field will be another one of our Englishmen in the field tonight, Nigel Stock. He will line up 39th and last place. And we can already see a couple of differences here, James, with this version of the track. This is pre-Daytona Rising, has the old grandstands. I want to say that this layout dates back to about 1999 or 2000. So this is kind of what the track looked like back in the mid-late 2000s era. So pretty close to what we would have seen back in the day. And of course, no lights. Unfortunate for this version of Daytona, but it should be a fun race, James. I love watching the cars race this version of Daytona. It's so bumpy. These cars are going to be wildly out of control here a few laps into the run. Tires will matter. So a lot of small little nuances about this version of Daytona that aren't necessarily true about what we have nowadays, but I think it's going to be a fun one here.
Absolutely. I remember watching a week ago the official Firecracker 400 races with the old 87 cars. I'm watching those things look like bouncy houses going through the bumps. I don't think we're going to see it quite as extreme with these cars, but you're definitely going to see them bouncing up and down like they're low riders with the hydraulics going. And it'll be interesting to see. We've talked a lot about the much maligned Super Speedway package with this car. You hope we don't see it. You hope we don't have a recreation of the 2000 Daytona 500, or even the 2001 Daytona 500 for that matter. But we're gonna see what we'll get as the pace car getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Johnny Thomas is going to lead us to the green flag. Green means go, and we are underway at Daytona. Nice launch for Thomas. They are completely equal going into turn 1. Vody gonna get pushed just ahead by Joshua Chin. As you see, look at these monsters go through the bumps.
Right now, a battle of the Sterling Marlin cars there. The number 40 on the outside, the Silver Bullet. He won lots of races in that car. And then, of course, number 4, Johnny Thomas on the inside. He won 2 Daytona 500s in that one. So here we see Josh Chin, 93. He's 2 weeks ago winner at Sonoma. He's going to go ahead and make a move for the lead. But look, he has no room or has no help behind him. It's going to be Tyler Fody there with the push from behind. Teammates already coming into play here today on lap number 1. Kind of going to be a story all day, James. I think just, of course, you can't really do anything without teammates here. And whether it comes to actually racing, lines, or pitting, it's really going to come down to teammates here tonight.
Yeah, and much like that 2000 Daytona 500, it was dominated by everyone in the Ford camp working together. And you're seeing that exactly right now with a lot of the Lake Norman cars working together with the odd man out that is Jared Rexing in the 13 car in the middle of that. Yeah, Joshua Chin just doesn't really have the help both teammate wise and pushing wise. You're seeing kind of what we were fearing, the inside line just struggling to keep up. The bumps on that inside does not make it easy to keep the same amount of momentum as everyone is on the much smoother outside.
Yeah, quite realistic here what this looks like early on in the race. And of course, 160 laps, long time for things to happen or go wrong. So most of these drivers probably just kind of chilling right now. You really can't be too aggressive with those bumps, James. I mean, you can push, of course, here, but you got to be really discretionary about where you push and how hard you do with these race cars. Because if you do it wrong, you'll knock that car in front of you sideways, and it'll cause a really bad time for everyone. But kind of broken up here on the bottom side right now. See Josh Chin. He is now trailing the number 13 of Jared Rexing there in the very bright all yellow car. If we look very further back, we kind of have a bit of a breakaway back to P33 Brandy Yoakum in the Fred Jones car. If we could get a view on that for just a moment, we want to shout this race car out. The Fred Jones default Papyrus car from NASCAR race in 2003 season. Brandy Yoakum, he's in that paint scheme right there. That is the same paint scheme. It used to just have NR 2000, or it used to have Papyrus on it, not iRacing. That is a legendary paint scheme right there in the sim racing circles. But you can see 5 cars right here, kind of just chilling in the back of the pack, not really doing much. There's no real reason to at this moment. Lap 5 of 160. We're probably going to have these 03 Cup cars, they have small fuel tanks, I believe it's about 14 gallons or so. So looking at about 30 or so laps on a tank of fuel. So we're going to have quite a few pit stops this race. Lots of opportunity for things to go right and wrong. So yeah, we're kind of just chilling right now, I think. So just kind of spread out right here. Bottom line, kind of just chilling right there. Daniel Gore up in this thing. Oh,
whoa! Oh my goodness! Oh, and they're wrecking! Gore and Hanshaw into the wall, and around goes Frankie Fields, and there's the big one!
Lord have mercy. It's a little early for that, don't we think? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, that didn't take long. See, big damage for Rabilis. See, massive damage for, 63. Yeah, it just looked like the 46 kind of got out of line, hesitated, and by the time he made the move to get back up, it was way too late.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to be all right, but just kind of got hooked together a little bit. Looking at Daniel Gore there. Oh, that's a huge hit. The 81 killed Pocock into into Hanshaw there, and then Randy Yoakum coming in a little bit late. But I don't think Daniel Gore is going to be too bad off. It looks like the only meatball we're going to have from this accident is Mark Vilas in the 99, but just on board here with Daniel, and just that 46 he never really committed to a line, and they kind of just got hooked together a little bit, and yeah, it's unfortunate. That's a pretty big wreck to have here on lap 5 of the race.
Yeah, you just would prefer a lot less aggression there on that move. Unfortunately, it's a long race, and now several cars are done for the night for not the greatest of reasons right there.
Going through the pack here, it looks like we're gonna have about 10 cars that had some sort of damage or something of the effect here. So on board here with Jeff Ryan in the number 3. He was kind of hanging out the back of this pack, so he's got a good view of it right there. Just Hanshaw in the air, and these super speedway brakes are
not the greatest.
Not the greatest, and they're even worse than, well, Jeff Ryan just wanted to give a kiss there to I believe that's the number 60 of a Nabnet. Yeah, just a little smooch there. But James, if you're used to doing super speedways nowadays in even Xfinity cars, or especially the next gen cars, I would say both of those vehicles have a better super speedway brake package than we have on these now. Especially next gens. I mean, next gens just honestly have too much brake. But if you're kind of used to that, I mean, these things are just not going to stop with any appreciable amount of momentum loss. So it might look like that caught out a few drivers there in that last wreck, but kind of looking through, pit road is very, very busy right now. Everybody getting all their damage fixed, and who's worse for the wear. The 63 AJ Hobson. No meatball on him, but I would have to assume that car is going to be really, really heavily damaged. He's got no front end. You can see the radiator, that's been up under there too. So just a ton of damage on the 63, one of our one-off drivers tonight, who unfortunately might have a short one, but he looks to be the worst of the wear on pit road.
Yeah, we'll see how much it affects those that were caught up in that wreck, as we are now going to 1 to green. And I tell you, the unfortunate thing is the fact that, we have single file restarts in this series. So we had the inside lane, maybe not at its best, but still somewhat set up well. But now I'm going to be surprised if we can see that inside lane get put together with some sort of ability to challenge the outside here when we finally get back going.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see what they can do, because of course we have Lake Norman cars first 4 cars, I believe, in the restart there. So it's going to take a bit of finesse and a bit of planning, a bit of, in the words of one of our former presidents, a bit of strategery going to need to be involved to get that bottom line working, and of course get something going on with those Lake Norman cars. Because what you really need to do is, and it requires multiple drivers, is to kind of split them up and get one. If you can kind of get in the middle of Scott Crump and Caleb Pecumer there, you can maybe kind of half their advantage a little bit and go from there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of goes on this restart. Josh Chin, he was kind of the leader of that inside line last time, but he got kind of thrown back in the pack a little bit, and he's going to be about 7th here on the restart. So we'll see. I would assume that 93 probably will be one of the first to go to the bottom. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah.
Yep, and we also have to worry about what happens on the single file restarts. that we've seen before, with the pace car getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Tyler Fody will lead us back to the green flag. Green means go. We are back
big wreck.
under. Oh no.
We have wreck. Oh, we have a big wreck on pit entry. Gerald Campbell involved. Randy Yoakum involved. We probably need a yellow here. You see all the damaged cars. There's right there. There's the yellow flag. Yep, race control is going to throw it. Ray Baracey in the 7. Lord have mercy. What happened here?
Oh boy. See, just a big checkup.
Oh. Big checkup and kind of just, well, James, I think that was kind of our worst nightmare of these single file restarts. You see just a couple of gaps here through the field. We're centered on Randy Yoakum right now. And he just got a 3, 4, or 5 car stack up there and see what happens. Just, big unfortunate there for the driver of the Unacceptable Racing at number 08. I mean, he was kind of already involved in that first accident and not really able to get going in this race, being involved in this second one here. So on board with Frankenfield, and we're going to see a lot of the back of the number 7 there. Yep, and just not what you want to have to happen at this part of the race. Race control going to put that on the number 81 of Cale Pocock on account of saying that he was the one that kind of had the gap in front of him.
Yeah, you typically don't see tallies given on these sort of incidents.
Yeah, maybe we need to check the replay of that one more time. I believe we also have 2 number 81s in the field somehow. Yeah, Dustin Dewar, actually, I'm showing him in the 81. So can we get another look at the replay and see if race control is actually looking at the right 81 here? Because that might be a pertinent thing to check.
Yeah, I swore that Pocock was.
Yeah, caution's already out at this point.
I mean, no one's really slowing down from where he is. I would kind of put that more on Goody, if anything, because Goody's the one that kind of accelerates while Pocock and all the cars behind him and Yoakum also leaving that big gap too. So I don't know if I would put that on Cale Pocock at all.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the other 81 car, which is actually Dustin Dewar. Let's see.
Sorry to all those who use Teams. I forgot to close my team, so that is my Teams notification.
I don't think Dustin Dewar was involved in the wreck at all. He has been disqualified from the event. I did see what happened there. He missed his pit stall by about 10 boxes.
Oh, no.
Backed up and got the naughty flag from iRacing. So, technically, that could be cleared by race control. He has not called it out over the radio, but that could be cleared by race control, I believe, and get him.
Doesn't he get kicked out of the server?
But
I did see him get a block clear, but it's still showing him DQ'd.
Well, that would be the second retirement of the race. Technically, he would join Mark Urbiles in the garage or the big red trailer. I'm not sure where you'd put that one, but he would be the second retirement. Jeff Ryan, 3 laps down. He is back out on the racetrack, very heavily damaged. And make that official, Dustin Dewar has actually retired from the event, so he will be the second retirement of the race. Interesting. If he wasn't able to get that cleared, that would be very. I thought that was possible.
Unless maybe he comes back in and that makes a difference. I doubt it would, but who knows at this point?
It's Elite 03 Cup. Anything can happen.
Yeah, you can say that again. Definitely been one heck of a wild start, and something I picked up on that I didn't get a chance to point out because of everything that went on. But the Lake Norman cars were actually running the inside on that restart. Yeah, look at that. That is quite interesting what they're doing. What they're doing, I don't know, but it is an interesting strategy as the pace car pulls off. Fody leads us back to the green flag, and we're back underway at Daytona.
Much better this time around. They are going to converge and follow the Lake Norman cars down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2, single file for most of the field. That's how we started them, so have not been able to kind of get the momentum wound up just yet. You remember, James, back in the day, these things took about 2 laps to kind of get up to full song. So right now hitting about 180, so we have we have a few more miles an hour to go before we get up to full song here, but right up to the top of the racetrack in turn 3. We see about everyone kind of following up there right now. Not a whole lot of movement to the bottom. I think with the fact that we've had the couple cautions up to this point, running lap 14 once we hit the line, I think everybody's kind of going to just be a little bit less anxious here and a little more eager to fall in line and run some laps, kind of just clicking down. This is going to be a long one if we get caution after caution. We get going green, they are a lot quicker.
Yeah. We see some gaps towards the back of the pack.
Our first side-by-side is back there for about position number 20. It's Leighton Norgard, and it looks like he's racing there with Dave Huckleberry, so that's our second pack right now. We have some action here up at the front as well. The 95 of Gavin Hibbs. Yeah, he's not a regular runner in this series, but in there, in that. Bryce Fody is sideways.
And oh no! And Chad Turquist gets a huge bump from Rexing, trying to avoid it. Oh no! Rexing's gonna get turned by Joshua Osborne. Rexing able to get back going. He kept it out of the wall.
Up at the front, Gavin Hibbs. I almost said the wrong one. Gavin Hibbs has taken the lead. Big push in the bottom with Josh Chin in tow and Matthew Weeks. A couple of drivers there who aren't regulars in this series, Hibbs and Weeks. But there goes Hibbs up to the outside. He's going to try to. Up it's Fody in the wall. Hibbs is around.
And he's going to slam on the inside.
Lord have mercy. Lap 16 of 160, and that is going to be huge damage on the 95 of Hibbs. No caution once again. He's going to keep it well down there in the grass, but I got to say, we're going to get the replay here. I got to say here, James, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't really get it.
I would have understood it if it was lap 156, not lap 16. Definitely a lot more aggressive racing than I think we would have expected at this point. See Turnquist jumping down to the inside of Pecumer. I don't know if he's going to get any help, though. And you see the gap has already closed. No one helping him. Freight train. Choo-choo.
That is a helpless feeling right there. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. We are still trying to wreck him.
Yeah, you see on the bumper cam from Jeff Ryan. Almost disaster right there. Saw it was his brother, Tommy Ryan, having the moment.
And I mean, James, we typically think of Daytona and Talladega, of course, as tracks where you just kind of put the throttle pedal down and turn the wheel and there's not much else going on. But look at these cars. I mean, these drivers are driving them through the corners. They are all sorts of all over the place, sideways, and you can just see like the experience gap, I think, kind of coming into play. The drivers who maybe not ever ran this racetrack back in the day. You know, Bryce Fody, very young driver. He probably was in elementary or middle school when this track was actually, or he might have been in elementary school when this track was actually looking like this, or heck, I don't even know, maybe even younger. But just, you can, Josh Chin, he's been around for a while. Tyler Fody, Scott Crump, drivers that have been around for a while, probably raced this version of Daytona when it was on the sim still as just Daytona instead of Legacy Daytona. So definitely lots of experience and lots of experience gap here about just how to run these bumps, because it's so different than nowadays.
Absolutely. You're seeing there's a big old secondary pack trying to catch up. And they're not doing that bad of a job. In fact, I think they might be starting to gain just a little bit. Though the pack is going to be separated into two packs itself. A little bit of miscommunication or what, but side-by-side racing from the two orange cars, Osborne and Connor Thompson Gardner, is kind of separated, and I believe that's going to kill their momentum and opportunity to maybe drive their way back up to the leaders.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to have. The fastest way around this track is in a draft, single file, and not side by side. So of course, yeah, that's what we need to have here to kind of make runs and kind of catch cars. And it is a team effort. That second pack, they've actually gone ahead and caught the first pack rate. David Westergreen, he is there. He's now behind Chad Turnquist, and looks like he's actually going to make the move there with Leighton Norgard. They got a pretty good run here. Past Phillips, past Ryan, maybe up to William White. So just really going to have to keep that momentum rolling and try their best to Pocock there. Chad Turnquist has joined that group, and this is kind of the best run the bottom side has had since the restart. So gonna go on board here with D West and see what he can do. Rolling along here right next to Caleb Pecumer, and I mean, it looks like they're not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, this is incredible. I'm flabbergasted watching this. I wasn't even sure if they'd catch up to this lead pack, let alone have this run of steam to get side by side for the lead is David Westergreen.
It took all of one lap to go from the back of the pack through the field up to the lead for D West here. And just shows you kind of like, this drafting package back in the day, if you could do that, that was a thing you could do. You could definitely make moves, and hopefully we're seeing the best of it here today at this version of Daytona. Good move there for D West. Good teamwork. Well, I'm not gonna say teamwork. They're not teammates, but good drafting work there from a Leighton Norgard from behind, and of course Turnquist, Pocock, and friends. They were all able to get up there and get up in this fight. But we do have. I mean, this is kind of re-energize this back up here. We've got to fight for the lead, fight for second now. And
whoa.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you saw Leighton Norgard get kind of tight off of the exit, turn 4, getting a lot closer to Tyler Fody than I think he wanted to. And now those in that third pack, I think, might be up a creek without a paddle, because all the speed and the energy in this lead group, I don't think they're going to be able to get there. But I don't know. Things got kind of hairy in that outside lane. I don't know if...
Looking at that third pack real quick, it's about a 4-second gap, and they are not really using that draft effectively, I don't think. You can see they're kind of swapping positions all back there, and you need to kind of just stay in line. I think you might be right. Oh, D West up into the side of the 93, just about, and just look at the movement on these cars. Incredible. I love this version of Daytona.
Amen. And these cars are doing, like, you remember, I think everyone remembers that that race we did at Talladega in the last 03 Cup Series season. That was not a fun race for, I think, anybody involved. But thankfully, this is not racing like what we saw at Talladega. This is looking more like what you would hope to see from a plate race. Like, you wouldn't have ever seen them catch back up at Talladega with this package. Like, it was, oh, you're 2/10 off, you lost the draft, oh well, and like no one being able to generate any sort of run otherwise. But seeing everyone get side by side once again like this, now you see the inside is starting to fall apart. Chad Turnquist has jumped up to the outside. So numbers are fading from the inside, but it gives you hope that at the very least you could get something built here in the closing stages of this race.
A couple more retirements to make note of. Jeff Ryan, Gavin Hibbs, we saw him hard into the inside wall. Sam Boutwell have all pulled their cars off the racetrack. They join Curtis Cochran. He's out. Looks like, Gavin Gibbs, Jeff Ryan, Dustin Deere, and then Mark Miles all in the garage done for the day. So,
well Sam Boutwell actually just joined back up.
Interesting. Those big bumps here. Actually, let's task the producer here. Let's get an onboard shot here, maybe with D West or a Leighton Norgard there on the bottom. And once we go here through turns 3 and 4, we're going to see some big bumps here. I believe, yep, this is D West here, so one of our Fords in the race. And watch the hands, watch the track relative to the car here, and just, big bump right there. It is so jarring, and it upsets the car so much. I mean, it's hard to convey through words and through non-force feedback methods like this. But just good Lord have mercy, it is a visceral experience to drive 190 some odd miles an hour around this racetrack with just the car bumping along. Look at the rear view; you can see it in the rear view, just bump.
Oh, meanwhile, we're 3 wide. Joshua Chin is getting left out to dry. He's gonna tuck back in line.
Matthew Weeks has taken the lead from that exchange.
Oh, we're catching up to a lap car right now. Not quite sure who that is. It might be Randy Oakham, but I'm not sure.
Al Hanshaw in the 46. He's going to stay way out of the way here. Actually, go down to the bottom apron, so good move for him. On board with Hanshaw, so pack scoot away right now.
Meanwhile, there is that much maligned third pack. Osborne, Bryce Fody, 5 car, Daniel Gore, Connor Thompson Gardner.
They have unfortunately not been able to gain any pack or any time on the pack ahead, so they're about.
Oh, we got a bit of a stack up here. Chad Turnquist having to get off of the throttle to avoid running over the 4 car. That got terrifying. We stay clean and green. While the inside lane still led by David Westergreen, still fighting right now. And you see they've got some numbers. A little more than they did a few laps ago. Turnquist has jumped back down. Got a couple cars on the tail end, on the verge of losing this draft. Tommy Ryan, one of them.
Cody in 41, he's right there at the back, and Tommy Ryan, Art Reimer, JP Phillips, they are kind of right there in that danger zone, like you said. Kind of, they need to gain a little bit of time there, but see, there's Sam Boutwell. He's back on the racetrack. It looks like the 4th time in the 47.
Yeah, hopefully for Sam's sake, he can hold on to the draft of this lead pack, and it doesn't look like he is going to be able to do so, but he's going to have some help behind. You see the stragglers from the lead pack have officially lost the draft, and they're just going to sail right on by past the 47.
Yeah, I don't think they're too worried about that. Tommy Ryan and Art Reimer right now working lap 30 here. Plenty of time to go, and we're going to actually have pit stops, green flag pit stops here within the next 15 laps, I would have to think, or so. Maybe less than that, but will be interesting to see how that will break up the pack, James. That always, no matter how packed up we are, green flag pit stops always kind of break that up a little bit, at least temporarily. So we'll see if we get to that point, how many cars. We got about, 15, I think, in this lead group here, all the way back to about 14, probably back to William White. So we'll see how many of those survive the green flag pit stop, kind of with the rest of them. How big our pack is after that. But we're on board here with D West again, and he's kind of been the leader of this bottom side since they really got that first big run. So it looks like he's committed to it right now. Still with the push from Leighton Norgard. They've been working pretty well together. So, kind of establishing some rapport, some drafting buddyship, I guess is what I call it. You want to have that near the end of the race. Maybe D West and Leighton Norgard doing that here today, right now.
Yeah, and it's going to be key if we do end up getting those green flag pit stops. Like you said, it always strings out the field even more than what we're seeing. You're always going to have at least a handful of cars making some sort of mistake that will cost them the draft, and the more that happens, less cars in the pack, and the lower the percentage of that we're going to get a caution. So that makes those pit stops even more nerve-wracking and terrifying, because if you make one mistake and you lose the draft, doesn't matter which pit stop it is, that might well be race over.
We have a group of cars up here in front of this lead pack, about 5 cars. A couple of star-crossed drivers there, various levels of damage and or just malignment. Jared Rexian, he got spun around there, no damage on the 13, but sent well back to the pack. You see Ray Bracey there, he's pulling to the pits. Might be racing over him. That car having a lot of damage here, and not a regular driver in the series is Ray Bracey, so probably came out here for the initial shot at some money. Not sure if we brought up that yet. I believe not. It is $100 to win this race. And if it is not an Elite 2003 Cup regular, the first of those at the end of the night will receive $50. So $150 potentially in prize-winning money here for this race. Tyler Fode with some help from his teammates. No surprise on that. They are making a move to the inside of Matthew Weeks, and a strong one at that. It's going to be pretty cut and dry here at the start-finish line. Johnny Thomas is going to follow Matthew Weeks there on the outside, but Lake Norman has the numbers right now, 4 cars versus 3. That is simple math, which, well, we were told wouldn't be a thing, but there you have it.
And something to keep in mind, Trey Holmes, he has just dropped his packets. That is unfortunate. Trey running in the top 10.
That is not what you want to have happen, and he's going to lose a couple laps here. And not as easy to get those laps back in this series. So he's gonna have to work for it if he can even come back. And another thing, James, this pack has kind of broken up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's because guys are going to be getting ready to pit. I believe Chad Turnquist has just given the command that he's going down pit road. Joshua Chin as well. So who else joins? You see a good chunk of this lead pack there. They've chosen to stick behind the lap cars in front. So you got a slow car. I believe that is that Trey Holmes? Is that a replay of him?
Chris Cochran.
Curtis Cochran.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Curtis Cochran. My bad.
Well, here we go. A whole lot of cars bringing it in. You got all the Lake Norman cars. David Westergreen as well. Turnquist. And so far, looks all good. Not seeing any black flags. Yep, they are good to go.
Oh, the 40 of Fody, he was on the binders sideways. I was looking for that black flag notification to pop up, but I think he got away with it.
Now, who gets into their pit box? Well, it's real hard to get these cars in the pit box with how these brakes are. See, already got a few leaving their box. So far, so good.
All 4 tires. Actually, Danny G might be 2 tires.
Yeah, I think Gore might have done that to try to get himself some track position and get back up into the lead draft. See, Matthew Weeks and I believe Jared Rexing have brought it back down, or brought it down for their first time, rather.
Josh in there as well. He aborted the last time around, came down this time. Into his box.
See, these are the current leaders right now as they're going to go right on by Daniel Gore.
Down and away goes the Chin, Weeks, and Rexing group.
We'll see where they cycle out at. They're going to be at a disadvantage. Oh, and Norgard is getting turned, and he's going to hold on to it. What a save by Norgard.
Wow.
Lord have mercy. Wow.
Yeah, he got turned onto pit road. That has been cleared.
Yep.
What a great piece of driving there for a Leighton. That's we'll have to remember that if he's up front near the end of the race.
Wait, he got another black flag. I think race control just gave him a black flag.
No, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that second one was. Oh, we're getting into the lead pack. Turnquist and Crow spinning into the infield. No caution yet.
Oh my God, that tire is gone.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a caution
is
here.
demolished.
Caution's
and there's the caution. Oh my goodness! What in the world happened in the lead pack, or the effective lead pack, rather?
Oh, was that a lag incident? What?
I think it might have been. I think it was. I think it was one of those. I've seen that a couple times. Yeah, the booty shake that I like to call it. Just all of a sudden you're running, and then the rear end of the car in front of you just gets slammed in your face.
Wow, that is crazy.
Also, what a save.
Yeah, you see Joshua Chin up at the front holding onto it. See, Sam Boutwell just barely avoiding getting more damage. Good avoidance from D. West and also Matthew Weeks.
On board here with Scott, and he hit just an invisible wall, basically.
The booty shake of doom.
That is a heartbreaking way for someone's race is probably going to be ended here. It looks like Jared Rexing having a meatball out of that, and he's the only one, but big damage for Turnquist, excuse me, and Steve Rexing. Just that is not how you want your race car to look.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how on earth something like that is even possible. That is unbelievably frustrating. But completely unrelated. Hey everyone, iRacing Arcade is out now.
Well,
that's a fully different team.
You know, James, we're a quarter way through the race. I think this is about a pretty good opportunity to take our first break, don't you think?
I would agree completely.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. So don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class education combining the very best racing instruction and education.
The 5th annual Enjoy Illinois 300 is roaring into Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday, September 13th, bringing NASCAR Cup Series racing to the most challenging track on tour. Watch the world's greatest drivers battle it out in high-speed, side-by-side action. But it's more than a race, it's a full weekend experience. Whether you're a lifelong NASCAR fan or just looking for an unforgettable gateway getaway, get your tickets now at www.raceway.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back.
Alrighty, we are back and just about ready to get back at it here. We are 1 to green. Pace car is getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Matthew Weeks to lead us back to the green flag. Green means go. We're back underway at Daytona. Little bit of chaos towards the middle of the field. Gerald Campbell having to jump out of line. Oh no, did we just have another?
Oh, AJ Hobson around at the start finish line. Yep, we had another restart shenanigan.
Ay, Dios mío. And caution is back out.
Got a net code too. Oh, Chad.
Oh,
yeah, but to be fair, the guy was blinking out.
Kind of the worst case scenario there. The 63 there of that's AJ Hobson. He's blinking out, and then his car just kind of locks up, which makes me think he had some kind of like hardware issue, maybe.
Yeah, some
His wheels are locked on there. Yeah, just looks like full lock, and I mean, typically when you got like a blinking car like that and then full lock wheels, it's like a USB disconnect, probably, or something like that for AJ. Hearing that Chad Frankfield is going to also be done now from that, so he's going to add to the list of retirements, which Jared Rexing was the last, or he was the most recent one, and then we're going to add Chad Frankenfield to that one as well. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 retirements at this point in the race.
And we are only 100 miles in.
We call those brutal races, and I'm not really that surprised with kind of you kind of typically see that with one-offs like this, where you got non-series regulars who come in to join the fun, and sometimes it just doesn't go their way, but there's still lots of fun to be had here. Still lots of drivers in it. We have 23 drivers still on the lead lap, and then 27 one lap down, so presumably they could get their laps back fairly easy. But we are not yet 1 to green.
Yep, and you called it, Cam. Tally going to the 63 for the lag issues.
Yeah, it looks like that's probably going to be a moot point. AJ Jobson has disconnected, so I believe he's also going to be a retirement. And no surprise there. Big hit from Chad Frankenfield into the back of that 63, and that is it was a huge hit there. You see the not Delta Airlines 737 in the background there, taxiing off of turn 2. That is well, I'm going to be the only one that actually cares about this, but if I don't think we're going to get a view of it, at least a clear view.
I don't have it. I don't have it for the old version of Daytona.
We might see it if we might see it if we get a lucky onboard there, but off turn 2, you'll see that plane approaching at about 5 knots towards the runway at this old version of Daytona. It's a lot faster than the new one, but the 737 is approaching at literal stall speed in this version, so thankfully it seems to land every single time. But are we getting into 3 AM levels of Radio Lamar yet?
I mean, listen,
I don't know. We'll probably get there.
Is it a Daytona
we're talking
broadcast?
about planes.
Is it a Daytona broadcast without Cam mentioning the plane?
Correct. And you will, keen eyes will also notice that the new version of Daytona has the updated Delta livery on the 737, so there you go. But we are 1 to green, and you can see On board here with Matthew Weeks, plenty of activity of the drivers. 16 damage off of pit road now, coming through turns 1 and 2. They are going to go join the back of the field. That group involving drivers like Hanshaw, Yoakum, Turnquist, Sam Boutwell, Scott Crump, Ray Bracey. So they're all trying to get as much damage fixed as they can. The good thing about Daytona here, James, is you've got plenty of time to do that. So you don't, the damage. Especially if we're getting the cautions at this kind of frequency, you got plenty of time to fix it all, so not the end of the world.
No, not like Bristol where you can only maybe get a handful of seconds fixed at a time. You can get about a minute or so if you play your cards right. We'll see if we do get any of those early damaged cars back up to a fighting speed.
Here's one thing I've learned as a damaged vehicle. You can absolutely speed to beat the pace car, just not significantly.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 miles an hour or something and then it'll pop excessive speeding for you, and then give you an additional penalty. But could also be cheeky and just like, hey, I got a black flag because this person didn't pass me, and it gets cleared anyway. So it might not even matter.
Interesting view into the Cam Rich playbook. As we see the pace car making the hard left-hand turn on a pit road. Matthew Weeks leads us back to the green flag. Green means go. We're back underway at Daytona. And we've seen few cars jump out of line to avoid more restart calamity.
Yeah, bit of a restart issue there. Saw that the number 1 of Scott Crump jumped way out of line and passed about 4 cars on the inside. Not sure that.
No, he got a black flag.
He is asking for a clear. He is asking for a penalty clear. And
it's been cleared.
I gotta say, race control. We gotta look at that one again. You can't just be passing cars willy-nilly on the bottom like that and then asking for the penalty.
Oh.
Clear. Ooh, we did have a crash behind him though. Scott, that's Sam Boutwell.
No, that should still be a black flag.
Yeah,
I gotta say, race control. We gotta look at that one again because that was just kind of an egregious. That wasn't an avoid in a wreck. That was just kind of a move to the inside there. Definitely gotta disagree with race control on that one. Hopefully we can get him to look at that one again. But up here at the front, it is Tyler Fody who has regained the lead. He has some familial help behind him. Frank Fody there in the 41. He is now in second.
Meanwhile, Cale Pocock, he has dropped his packets.
It's not very casual.
Oh, yeah! Gerald Campbell getting turned! Oh, hang on to it, Gerald.
Oh.
Caution is out.
Wow, great use of the brakes.
Great, racy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that ability to get damage fixed, those damaged cars are going to get about another minute here to get some of that fixed here. We're going to go on board here with Gerald. Saw the rear end lift up here. There was contact from behind, of course. Not sure who it was. Oh, my goodness. Ray Bracey he's got a penny taped to the dash or something there, but it's going to be the 93 of Josh Chin that sends Gerald around and back up the racetrack.
He's missing a headlight.
And part of his beak.
Mm-hmm. All right, gentlemen, how about we go ahead and take a little bit of a commentary break until we get everybody lined up to go for the next restart.
Alrighty, we are back and ready to get back at it. And it's been pretty wacky these last few laps, but we'll see if we can get another long green flag run going as the pace car getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Tyler Fody will once again lead us back to the green flag. Green means go. We're back underway at Daytona.
Oh, someone in the back is passing about 10 cars on the outside.
Well, that's legal.
Which is legal.
Sure, Chad Turnquist. It technically is, yep. Slot in there right behind Chad, or excuse me, Kyle Anshaw.
Well, meanwhile, everyone is single file still at this moment. Got Austin and Abnett up into the top 5 for the first time tonight.
A couple green cars there next to each other. And Abnett and Weeks. Very, very different shades of green. Abnett there in the Harry Gant special there, and then Matthew Weeks in one of the Mountain Dew cars that I believe that was the 05 car. I can't remember the exact year, but I believe that was ran in 05. Very different green cars there, but you know, doing pretty all right now. They say green is bad luck, but they've both been able to get through the carnage up to this point, and there's been plenty of it. So hopefully it keeps on going.
That there is. Also, I just noticed that JP Phillips is running a throwback scheme for the first time this season, running an old Kingsford car instead of his usual West Virginia country roads paint.
Go on board with him and see what he sees. A lot of the rear end of Tommy Ryan's car, so some teammates here, the Unacceptable Racing teammates, have seen them work well together in other Elite Racing League series, so no surprise that they're doing that here up in the 03 cars, and lots of movement. Just, I mean, we've said it all race, lots of movement through these bumps, but just it's going to be all race. Obviously, something you got to deal with every single lap. So lots of finesse required to get the most out of drafting these 03 Cup cars here. One move to the inside there, you see Johnny Thomas, the bright yellow car. He is the lone wolf, and it's not really gonna work for him. He has no help, and is going to be see right around the outside goes much of the field. Leighton Norgard, William White, he's going to slip right behind to the I believe it's going to be 14th position, possibly 13th there for Johnny. William White, we talked about him. He's one of the couple drivers in this race, probably 2 or 3 that are pretty happy with the World Cup results. Of course, England transferring on. So him, presumably Nigel Stock, and I know Daniel are all very, very excited about that. So they got a lot going for them. David Westergreen, well, he's a Cubs fan, so take that however you will. But he's running third up here right now behind the Fodies, and he's had a pretty interesting race. Was really one of the first drivers to kind of get down to the inside there and kind of make a charge to the front. It's really netted for him as he is up there to third, but really not much to do right now. Working lap 60. We got 100 laps to go, 102 to be exact, but plenty of racing time left to go here in this Firecracker 400. And I mean, David Westergreen, you know, he's probably thinking he's right where he would love to be right now. Not really gonna do anything different by being out there leading laps from Tyler Fody, but being in position is kind of the name of the game here at these super speedway races. So exactly what I would say he is right now.
Meanwhile, there is a huge gap to the second pack of this race. They are ways away behind.
first. It's going to be Andrew Hardcastle. And then it's, about 4 seconds back to Goody, which Josh Chin back there in that pack as well. Not sure if he has damage on that race car. I'm not really seeing any. But gonna make a move to the inside of Goody. Some help from Scott Crump and the company. Jack Turnquist, Connor Thompson, Joe Campbell. All of them back there. All of them kind of have had a interesting race up to this point.
Yeah, that they have. You can say that again.
Interesting things going on with the templates on some of these cars. Joe Campbell's car only has one left headlight and one left tail light, so not really sure if that's an iRacing-ism or what, but it is pretty funny to look at. There's another car here with only one tail light. I think it's out of the race. I believe it was Curtis Cochran in the 27. That car also kind of did the same thing. So, we've seen it already in the form of invisible wall that caused the wreck. Probably some kind of iRacing bug or glitch causing that. See that big pack way up down the road. They are now just entering at turn number 1. And just past the line is Connor Thompson. So that is the visuals of the gap, which is about 5 seconds still. They haven't really gained or lost a whole lot, but would benefit by just keeping it in line at this point.
As we now got the multicam going, being able to keep an eye on both packs here. I believe it's the time where everyone is just content to turn laps at this point.
Yep. A part of any mid-2000s Super Speedway that we would all reach, so this is kind of where we would be the lull of the race, if you would want to call it that, but still, yep, we are only about 20 to 30 laps from pit stops at really any point in the run here, so we can't get too comfortable. Right now is still Tyler Fody over the elder of the Fodys, Frank there running second. I'm sure he's completely content running there. Dave Westerby in third, Weeks fourth, and Nabnett in fifth. And at the bottom of your screen, we talked about the multicam. That is P16 on back. Josh Shin has 16th, and then on back behind there. A couple of cars laps down. Scott Crump is 2 laps down, so not in that fight currently. But yeah, I'd say this looks quite like a mid-2000s Super Speedway race here. Kind of running right around the top, just a couple laps away. Nobody really concerned too much about doing too much at this point.
Oh, meanwhile, things got a little close between Weeks and the Nabnett. Weeks had to check up just a bit. So the lead pack starting to catch up to the lap down car of Sam Boutwell.
That 47 has seen better days. He's had a very rough race at this point, just trying to really nurse it on home. He's going his 4th lap down on the night, so back of that car says heck of a deal, ain't it? I'd say probably not. I'd say he would probably love for a different deal of the race, but what he's got to this point.
You could say it's a wreck of a deal, ain't it?
Looking for a heck.
As we pull up a snippet of the Tom Boland ad. Tom Boland, of course, that quote from that ad, you have heard it many times if you watch Elite Racing League races, and that is the point of advertising there, but not much change up here at the front of the racetrack. Everybody just kind of content with running. Randy Yoakum having a bit of an issue. Contact from behind from Josh Osborne sends the 08 around off of turn number 4. No caution, but the 08 did go for a bit of a ride, and he is back going.
Randy Yoakum not
Yeah.
pleased. I don't even know what he said. I don't know if I want to know what he said. Definitely one of the clapbacks of all time.
And one of the drivers, you can always tell when he feels slided just a little bit, he will make it known over the radio. And some contacts from behind from Josh. No damage for any of the drivers, but you don't want that to happen. And no caution means that's going to be even worse for the driver of the 08. I mean, an already a rough night for Randy. He is one lap down currently, looking to hopefully get that lucky dog position, but going to be a little bit harder with that setback for him. But not much change up at the front. No change at all. We have not had a position change, I think, at all in the top 10 last couple laps.
Now, it does kind of look like that second pack is starting to catch up the leaders just bit by bit.
Yep, I think they are definitely closer than they have been, and we saw it before with that second pack led by David Westergreen. They were able to catch this first pack. You can see right there, Josh Chin. Green is definitely good in this scenario, so they are right at the bottom of the racetrack, running them down quite a bit at this point.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if we're starting to get some pretty significant fuel save from the lead pack.
Yoakum going a second lap down, so hurt his chances at getting back on the lead lap with the lucky dog. But yep, definitely every single lap, about half a second quicker is this second pack. You visually see it there. Josh Chin is the space between the top of his car and the lead, the back of the pack, kind of in the corner, is very much windowed quite a bit here.
Yeah, like, look at that. You are seeing the time difference. They are going to have a run from oblivion. We might get the... Oh, my God, we got a caution. Oh, goody.
And like there was some help in that one.
Contact from the 31 to Gerald Campbell.
Why did that bring out a caution?
Yeah, how did that bring one out? But, like, we've had cars crashing, and iRacing's like, nope, I sleep.
I'm do good team action.
We're like, do bad, am I right? Ha ha ha, got him.
He will be here all night.
Unfortunately for everyone. Anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and get another break in, and we will be back shortly.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. So don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class education combining the very best racing instruction and education.
The 5th annual Enjoy Illinois 300 is roaring into Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday, September 13th, bringing NASCAR Cup Series racing to the most challenging track on tour. Watch the world's greatest drivers battle it out in high-speed, side-by-side action. But it's more than a race, it's a full weekend experience. Whether you're a lifelong NASCAR fan or just looking for an unforgettable gateway getaway, get your tickets now at www.raceway.com.
Alrighty, we are back, and we are just about to go 1 to green here. Well, we got a little bit of a green flag run there for a minute, Cam.
Yeah, we sure did, and we've been able to do it a couple times tonight. It's just haven't been able to get more than about what we've seen the one green flag cycle there, but not a second one quite yet. Hopefully, as we approach halfway here, we can do it again. We are 1 lap to green. So we haven't really done this all race. Let's go through the top 10. It's a Fody 1-2. Tyler leads Frank, as it has been the case for pretty much all of the last run. David Westergreen there in 3rd. Matthew Weeks 4th. Josh Chin, he is now up to 5th. Playing some hit strategy there on the last pit stop. Austin Abnett is 6th. 7th will be JP Phillips. 8th is Caleb Kumer. 9th is Tommy Ryan. Andy Lewis is 10th. And we have 24 cars on the lead lap still. That's kind of the number we've had for about 30 or 40 laps to this point. So looking at lap down cars, Ray Bracey, Randy Yoakum, Scott Crump, and Kyle Hanshaw are all 1 down. So hopefully, caution's suboptimal, but it is allowing a lot of these damaged cars kind of back in the back, able to get their cars repaired and get the time for that. So keeping a few more cars in the race than maybe otherwise would be, but our retirements list looking like it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strong now.
Yeah, it's getting there. As we see, the pace car is getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And Tyler Fody will once again lead us back to the restart zone. Green means go. We are back underway at Daytona. See, good jump for the top 4 as they're starting to separate themselves a little bit.
Already here early on. Takes about 2 laps to get these cars up to full speed, though, so that little gap probably won't last too long. They got 2 more behind that are pretty close there, Nabnett and Chin, but look at that gap back to JP Phillips there. That might be a bit of a problem, but plenty of cars behind them. I think that's not going to last too long either.
Yeah, dangerous times for JP Phillips. Right now, he doesn't have anyone behind him pushing him right now. They are catching up to him. So now, hopefully, this second pack can make the run they need to catch up to these lead 6.
Yeah, right now, the Fody duo have been impervious. They've been perfect up to this point, been working great together, and really no surprise if you think about it. But now D West there in third. He's been there for quite a while. Probably has been thinking about what he's going to do, who he's going to work with. Of course, he's got weeks behind him, but a lot to think about to try to get around those 2 Lake Norman, those 2 Fody race cars there. They are going to be probably not going to break apart from each other whatsoever the whole race, if you think about it.
No, they will not.
Second back there, JP Phillips. He has fallen back into the clutches of them, but no surprise really. But there's a lot more cars in that second pack right now than the first, so they should run them down here in a few laps. And we'll see what happens when they do that. It could be they might make a charge to the bottom, but here with Phillips. Push from behind from the Humor in that 59.
Yeah, they are catching up. They are not, I would say there, but I think they're in good shape right now.
Yeah, it's probably going to be next lap, but you can see the gap is pretty much nothing at this point. What does the scoreboard actually say it is? Well, it's going to be 1 second is the scoreboard time, so not at all really going to be a problem. And yeah, right there, they're going to catch up to the draft probably down the straightaway here. So we'll see what JP does. I would probably say make a move to the inside and see what she can do with it. But of course, Caleb here being a Lake Norman car, not sure if he will go with JP wanting to go to the inside. Bryce Bodie, another Lake Norman car. They are scattered throughout the pack, so you can't really get away from them too terribly long. Ooh, humor on Phillips here.
That's not going to help things at all.
Yeah, that hurt their momentum quite a bit.
I wonder.
He's going to slot in behind Bodie there.
I don't think he realized that the guy behind him and Tommy Ryan is in the same team as the guy ahead of him.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also some shenanigans going on at the further end of this pack. They are 3 wide as Johnny Thomas is caught in the sucker hole.
Yeah, interesting times in that second pack. We had the front pack caught, and then we started racing. So I would be a little questioning about what the tactics are here, but I think we have figured it out here. We line back up, and we're gonna go ahead and catch that first pack again. Just a little bit of position change. I think maybe some drivers thinking they're a little bit faster than others here, but the unacceptable teammates here have made their way to the front of this pack. Phillips and Ryan.
Well, they're single filed out now again, but they have to catch up all that ground that they lost on top of the ground that they still had yet to gain.
Sure enough, and you see the gap right there. It has increased quite significantly. First 6 cars have put about 3 seconds on this second pack, just due to the confusion and position change that happened a couple laps ago. But presumably, with the numbers, the second pack should start to run them down. If we can get the little indicator with the red and the green, the good bad chart is what I like to call it. Let's see if they have started doing that.
Give me 1 second. Should have that up for you
Lap
here.
times to the leader. See in
Oh,
here
hold
that
on.
JP Phillips last time by 48.233. They're actually not catching right now. You can see last couple laps. Lap 77 was the big change in position. And then, yeah, still 2.5 tenths quick or slower this last time by. So
This
yeah,
lap
they
will be
have to
the big,
figure something
the
out
big
here in the
indicator.
second pack. Great news, though, is that we are officially at halfway in this race. That is the mark right there. So we do get to do it all over again. Tyler Cody is your halfway leader.
Yeah, interesting. You see the lead pack went faster, but the second pack went faster still.
Finally, about a tenth faster was that second pack. So you can just see it is a tedious process. That second pack has the numbers, but this front pack has they have the rapport. They have the experience. Most of them are all teammates up here. You got 3 Lake Norman cars. You have a D West, a South Shore car, and then the 2 others. But see right there, Phillips 2 tenths quicker this last time by, so they are finally starting to catch.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
Oh, Huckleberry.
That is one of our very own. There's the caution.
Beautiful scheme.
A heartbreak for Dave Huckleberry.
He might be okay.
Let's see what the replay shows. It looks like it was a single car incident. And, well, there was another car involved. Dave's. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. We'll call it a 3-car incident there. And Randy Yoakum looks like he was involved. Man, Randy Yoakum has just had a race today, so I'm sure he would love to get this one over with, but on the banking kind of transition goes Dave Huckleberry spinning and kind of awkwardly into Randy Yoakum there, and not really anywhere he could go.
Yeah, I think Dave might have got the wall, and that's what kind of slowed him down in front of Turnquist.
Forward with him and see what he saw from his perspective.
I think this might be a lap behind.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes, you are right. Speed that up.
Sure was. We're gonna
This
zoom
is in
forward.
the front stretch, right? Or back stretch, excuse me. Oh, no, it's right there.
Yep, right
Yeah,
there.
Hit the wall.
Oh, yep.
Well, I think we'll get another break in, and we will be back. Alrighty, we are back and about ready to get back at it here. See, David Westergreen up to P2 right now.
Yep, some movement on the pit stops there. Frank Bodie has moved back to position number 6, it looks like. Should be an interesting restart here.
Pace car, get ready to make the hard left-hand turn on a pit road. Fody will once again lead us back to the green flag. Green means going. We're back underway at Daytona. See, Chin jumps to the outside of Westergreen, and he's going to have help from Weeks.
Westergreen going to follow Fody, but that outside line going to have some help from Ryan and the other Fody as well, Frank and JP Phillips. That outside line, oh, Westergreen is completely hung out now. He's going to fall way back, probably in front of an Abnett there.
And that he will.
7.
That's got to be frustrating for Westergreen.
He was happy about something on that restart, something about lagging behind. So that I'd say the whole restart was a bit of a cluster. It looks like there was stagger all over the racetrack. It was a bit of a mess, but we are underway green here. Chin up to second, Weeks third. Still unable to do anything with that number 40 of Tyler Fody. He's led the most laps up to this point. I think it's not going to be too long before he's clinched most laps led in the race.
And once again, we have a huge separation from the lead pack to kind of the second group. Oh, Gerald in the wall!
Not a small hit there for the 31 either. That's big momentum loss, and you have to look at the right side and see if it's okay.
Yeah, not sure what happened with that.
I'd say he should be fine. One of the big negatives of this car kind of on iRacing is it tends to be a tank when in real life they really were kind of fragile.
Yep, I had a race at Darlington with this car where I clapped the wall about 13 times and didn't get any damage.
I think in real life that would have shredded your tire so quick it would have you wouldn't even know it hit you.
I wouldn't have even been able to get to the second wall hit.
Yeah, we have some action here. Oh, David Westergreen and an Abnett side by side, so that's going to break up this first pack even a little bit more. You see back there, Daniel Gore there. Haven't talked about him too much in the sense of being up at the front. He's been in a couple accidents, but slowly but surely kind of making his way through the field by attrition.
Yeah, the South Shore teammates now working together. They see Westergreen jumps out of line, but Gore doesn't go with him here.
Yeah, and I think everybody kind of just okay with running the top side. That's kind of that has been the line all race up to this point, kind of the preferred group. But you have to think that Westergreen, he's been one of the most brave to go down there and try to make something happen. So he definitely knows how that line works just about more than anyone else in this race up to this point.
And it worked early. That's how he was able to get up into that P3, P2 spot. But unfortunately, no one else willing to play ball with the 22 car.
At the the moment, but that knowledge of kind of knowing how things work, James, knowing. You saw it back in the day. I mean, you even see it. You see it still with your really good restrictor plate drivers, but running through the pack and just kind of testing how things work, testing how the draft works with certain people, testing certain situations and scenarios. I mean, you can do that during the race, and your really good drivers will kind of be doing that all race to see what they can do and have that in their toolbox for the end of this race. So. We know David Westergren. He knows how to restrictor plate race. He's pretty good at it. So he's one of those drivers that I'm not surprised he's been kind of testing the waters a little bit more than some, because I know he has the confidence in this car too. So we'll see how that comes into play in about 70 laps here.
Yeah, meanwhile, while we were talking, the second pack has caught up with the leaders. So now we got one enormous single file line here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try to make a move to the inside when they caught, but I guess might not have had the momentum or just still kind of in that kind of click laps off mode here.
Well, no one looking like they're willing to make a move.
Hearing Gerald over the radio pleading to maybe try the bottom. Not sure how well that's going to work here, but might be playing something here with a Leighton behind.
Saw Scott Crump out of line in the back. Crump only one lap down right now. Whoa!
There Gerald goes. He makes his move to the inside with a Leighton Norgard in tow. Also Art Reimer there as well. Won't leave him out. He is in that little group, so got 3 cars down there. We'll see what they can do. Not a whole lot at the moment, but if they can maybe get some kind of position there, maybe get some additional numbers, that might help their cause. However, lots of Lake Norman cars up there on the outside right now. It would have to be maybe Chin or JP Phillips or Tommy Ryan to probably do it.
Yeah. You know, David Westergren must be irritated seeing that line, knowing that he probably would have jumped out to lead it if he had the opportunity to. But look at that. They're really starting to get the numbers now.
Yeah, looks like they got Goody. Looks like they got Chad Turnquist as well.
JP Phillips looking, he might make the move down. Oh, he's got to do something. Oh, there's a big checkup on the outside lane now because of it.
Yeah, I think that bottom line is going to be a problem now. They got the numbers and they got the track position. They're up to 5th there with Frank Foti, so up to 5th kind of line-wise. Just got to keep persisting here. This is kind of the hardest point. Might not make the move. It's not going to be it's usually not linear progress either. It's kind of like you go forward and backwards and forward and backwards, but it just has to be overall. They're doing a great job right now. Look at that, up to P2, up side by side with Josh Chin. It's the best. This is really the best the bottom line has been in some time. Best challenge we've seen. Darrell Campbell and Leighton Norgard. We have a lap car up here. Who is that? They are going very slow.
Oh, that's not going to help things.
Sam Boutwell, he's going to pull down to the inside. It goes
so
around.
Far. Yeah, looks like they're going to get through as clean as you would hope for.
Didn't hurt him too terribly much. Joe Campbell, he is still side by side here with Josh Chin, kind of line-wise here, but of course down the back straight, they are going to lose a little bit of time on that stretch.
Yeah, now they've got to work to get back to where they were. A little bit of sideways for Campbell, wiggling over the bumps. Oh, we got William White
sideways.
spinning!
William White.
And he's gonna save it. Maybe not save it, but gather it back up, and we are gonna stay green.
I didn't even think it was hard contact there on the wall for William. I think he's good to go. No damage on the 43. Well, he's got a little bit of damage there on the right rear. A little bit of contact, but that could have been so much worse. No caution is going to be a bit of hindrance there for him, though. That he's going to be well off the pace. We have a new player there on the inside line. Matthew Weeks has moved down there to the inside. He's going to try to make something work with Gerald.
A bold move for that 11 car to jump down and lead this inside lane.
Issue there with William White, I think, slowed this inside line down a little bit. William was on the inside when that all happened, so that is a car they lost, but still trying to do something here. I think that inside line momentum has just kind of died off a little bit. They are falling back a little. They're falling back now.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
They're going to give it up just yet. Matthew Weeks and Joe Campbell, they are trying to keep it up there, but just not really able to do a whole heck of a lot, no, at this point. Really only have about 3 cars hooked together. Art Reimer and looks like Goody there, just not really close enough to be pushing them forward.
Yeah, they are continuing to go backwards right now.
Are at lap 100 now. 60 laps left to go, so I think we're getting closer here to go time, James. I think, we're probably within about, probably like about pit stop and a half, but it's about the 2 pit stop range here. Not sure what the cautions are going to look like, but yeah, 60 laps to go. We're in that kind of range of where we're not going to be letting people go anymore. We're not going to be really we're going to be a little bit more aggressive, I think. So probably the intensity is going to amp up from here on out.
Yeah, we've got just about 115 miles to go.
Sideline there, still trying to make something happen, still kicking, but really they've kind of fallen to the back half of the pack, and they kind of make up the back half of their, they're back there with the back. So I think that inside line we can officially consider that dead. Need another go at it, some more momentum to kind of go around and do it again. But yeah, like you said, it kind of was fun while it lasted. Going away too terribly far, though. They've been kind of hanging around that, around next to Daniel Gore, Austin, and Abnett, around there for a while. They can get like one more car with them. They might be able to make a run up here with it, but it's not happening at the moment.
Yeah, they're not giving up. In fact, they're starting to get a little more energy going. Oh, but as I say that, Turnquist jumps to the outside.
Yeah, that could be all she wrote for them. They're falling back a little bit now, just not really have in the numbers. So we'll check again in like 20 laps, 20 to 40 more laps. We'll see if that can happen again. Still Tyler Cody is your leader. I believe he has clinched the most laps led up to this point. Matthew Weeks, you can see there, fighting with the other Mountain Dew car, and Daniel Gore just trying to get back up into line. He's not really making any headway there on the bottom anymore. And if Gerald Campbell behind sideways. Ooh, the goodie sideways. Oh, sideways is a late Norgard. There they go.
Oh, we're wrecking up in the front. I think we've got we got a few cars around. Connor Thompson in the grass. I believe Pecumer's around as well.
I don't think any big hits there, but definitely some damaged tires and probably damaged egos. Let's see what the replay has to say, and definitely starts there with a Leighton. A little bit of contact from behind Art Reimer.
I think the 44
big hits are over here. Connor Thompson blindsided. Goody blindsided. I think he gets it straight, but Pecumer and Art Reimer, nothing they can really do there.
Yeah, well, you were saying it was getting to be go time there, Cam. I think it's really going to be go time right now, but we'll get another break to prepare for that, and we'll be back shortly.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. So don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class...
The 5th annual Enjoy Illinois 300 is roaring into Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday, September 13th, bringing NASCAR Cup Series racing to the most challenging track on tour. Watch the world's greatest drivers battle it out in high-speed, side-by-side action. But it's more than a race. It's a full weekend experience. Whether you're a lifelong NASCAR fan...
Oh!
The 5th annual Enjoy Illinois 300 is roaring into Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday, September 13th, bringing NASCAR Cup Series racing to the most challenging track on tour. Watch the world's greatest drivers battle it out in high-speed, side-by-side action. But it's more than a race, it's a full weekend experience. Whether you're a lifelong NASCAR fan or just looking for an unforgettable gateway getaway, get your tickets now at www.raceway.com.
All right, we are back and just about ready to get back at it. We are 1 to green.
26 cars on the lead lap now. So still lots of cars left in this one.
Yeah, that was huge for Scott Crump and William White though. William able to get back into the lead draft after his incident, and Scott Crump back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he was 2 laps down not that long ago, was Scott Crump, so definitely these cautions are helping some of them out there. Up to this point, it's really been all Tyler Fode in this race, and he's got his dad behind him there. Again in Frank, and they've been working really well together. But coming down here to we're gonna be 50 laps to go, and just a few laps here, we're getting ever so closer to that go point, and you know, not really been able to see a monumental challenge on the bottom with these Lake Norman cars, which are now 1, 2, 3. But definitely with the desperation kind of increasing and laps winding down, we'll see what they can do.
Absolutely. As the pace car is getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road, Tyler Fode will once again lead us back to the green flag. Green means go. We're back underway at Daytona. Now, what do you do if you're Matthew Weeks in the middle of the Lake Norman contingency here in the top 5?
I think you got to hope and pray right now, but kind of just stay in line, I think, and hope that you can get some help from behind. Josh Chin's back there. And you got some unacceptable racing help from Phillips and Ryan, but they are quite a bit ways. And you can see disjointed restart here just a little bit. Everybody kind of scattered. We're going to need a few laps here to get everything kind of packed back together.
Yeah, they're still fairly close to the lead pack, but this isn't going to help them at all. In fact, Westergreen and Campbell, they might be on the verge of losing the draft here.
Definitely kind of the double-edged sword. We get closer to the end of the race, less cars means less kind of drafting help. But I mean, we still got plenty of cars up here in the lead lap. Well, 26 cars on that part. But yeah, you can definitely see the gaps here are pretty big. A couple laps after. Oh, trouble, me, that's Huckleberry.
Oh, and there goes Osborne and Huck to the infield grass. This might be another caution.
Quite yet. Race control not doing anything just yet. I think everybody is going. There it is. We have a caution as we are watching the replay back. Up in front of Josh Osborne. Here with Dave Huck, he's going to be at the center of there. Gets hooked by Art Reimer. Never even saw what was coming, and then Josh Osborne involved there. Down to the infield grass goes Huck.
No meatballs.
That is surprising. You figure at least Huck would have a meatball.
What number caution is this? I'm not keeping track, but maybe we have a number somewhere. It's like maybe 10 or so.
I'm gonna cut the immersion here for a little bit. Ninth.
Ninth caution. All right, there we go. Pretty close. Pretty close.
You got the last 100 miles.
Well, we see not as many people coming down pit road as I would have expected. Do we have any idea on the fuel numbers with these smaller super speedway fuel cells?
I heard about 30 laps earlier, so somewhere thereabouts. We should be getting closer to kind of like the one-stop range, which, well, I'm not really sure. You know,
They will need one more stop because
trying to do math in my head, and it's not really mathin', but I'm not sure if that's the math that's not mathin', or that's me that's not mathin'.
So the majority of the leaders went down pit road on lap 105.
Probably a bit of mixture of both.
So yeah, I'm surprised then that we didn't see more cars bring it down to top off right here.
You know, I could probably go back here and look at something. Give me just a sec. We're gonna go on investigative mode. It might be like 24 laps, which, yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna have to see because I can't figure out what kind of strategy is really going on here, but I also don't know the exact fuel number. So we are 1 to green.
Yeah, and now the question is, can we get a restart where everyone is able to stay close? Because it's been kind of going up and down. Sometimes they've been too close and been crashing, or been too separated and having most of the field losing the draft.
Definitely been an interesting dynamic how that's kind of worked out tonight, but you know, with each passing one, it is another opportunity to kind of get it right again. It is really interesting seeing kind of this, you know, just growing up in my childhood, this was just kind of how restarts were. You know, they did the double file restarts at the All-Star race. But this is just kind of how every other race was, and now it's such a novelty that we kind of see issues with it. You know, we've seen issues all race long. We're so used to just double file restarts up to this point, where this is so different that it's caused issues. So just very, very interesting that we've kind of seen that tonight, but also not that surprising either.
Yeah, it's just not a whole lot of experience with these types of restarts anymore. And even still, you even see it sometimes happen with the IndyCar series still. But the pace car is about to pull off once again. Tyler Fode leading another restart. We're back underway. You see, so far, I think this might be the best restart that we've seen all night.
Yep, definitely back there to about a Leighton Norgard. They're pretty close. We can safely say that that is kind of in the pack there. That's back to P13 at least, so see some movement here with the Lake Norman teammates. Acosta Nabnik gets moved down to the inside, and he's going to be in the no-no zone. He's going to lose a few spots here. Here comes Daniel Gore to
Whoa! Look
wide.
at the run from Gore! My goodness!
Bringing Chad Turnquist along with him as well. So big move there for the 69. Not sure
Well,
Nabnik was a huge fan of that.
Yeah, there was also a checkup from Phillips there. Got things kind of nerve-wracking as we are now almost fully side by side. The inside lane starting to lose that momentum they got from that move from Gore. Right now,
the intensity's picked up though.
That it has. We're coming up to just 100 miles left in this race. Inside lane needs another car or two to really make this interesting. Phillips almost getting up into the wall again. You see Turnquist is going to fill the gap between Ryan and Johnny Thomas. And now this is bad news for the South Shore duo and a Leighton Norgard here on the inside.
Good news is they have some company coming in the form of William White and company. Also, that second pack kind of starting to catch as well. That's got Ray Bracey, Caleb Humer, I see Cale Pocock and others. So maybe they can get some more on the bottom, but it looks like those first cars are kind of going to stick to the top. So that's not good news. Good news that they have more cars. The bad news is that they aren't going through their line. So you can see bottom side there, Daniel Gore, Westergain and Norgard, they are just kind of falling at this point. They do need, there is Joe Campbell, but he's not close enough to provide any appreciable help at this point.
Yeah, you see Westergreen was able to find himself a space up in the outside, and he might be leaving the lane, and he will. Gore's able to... Oh, there's contact with Lewis and Norgard right behind, and they're going to hold on to it. I think that might be some significant damage for the 5 car, as he is really going backwards in a hurry.
Yeah, I think looking back on the replay, he did turn down in an Norgard just a little bit and then put himself up in the wall. So unfortunate, but not sure that Leighton did anything wrong in that instance. But
Fastest lap of the race, goody.
Definitely the 5 going to be the biggest loser in that exchange.
He is, but up front, Fode continues to lead. Westergreen trying to claw and hold on to the back end of this lead pack.
He's got a teammate in front of him in Daniel Gore, but not really doing much helping in front of. We're back to 2 packs as well. William White kind of leading that second pack with Joe Campbell, Leighton Norgard, and friends. So is kind of what we've seen. The second pack is kind of what we've been accustomed to.
Yeah, it's been name of the game for what feels like the entire game.
Right now, the lead packed out. Westergreen has caught up, so it's about 12 cars now. Not about, it is 12 cars. And lucky 13th, William White. He does get the honor of leading the second pack, so we'll see if they can make some headway and catch them. We've seen that happen a few times this race, but we do have a bit of a movement there in the first pack. It's Turnquist making a move. Not going to be able to do anything with it. He's got 0 help behind that number 37, and he's going to fall right to the back of the queue here.
And Johnny Thomas is also trying to make a move and has fallen a couple spots because of it as well. Well, things have settled down once again here.
We are in 40 laps to go, so I think that is the definite one pit stop mark here. Gore trying to make a move to the inside, and he is not going to have any help down there. Going to go back to the queue for the driver of the 69.
And that time, Western Green was not able to leave him a spot in front. And Gore might be on the verge of losing this lead draft too because of it.
Definitely in trouble there is the 69. Looks like at this point in the race, it's hard to make the moves that need to be made, so not much happening there on the bottom side. Second pack, hearing that they are thinking about moving to the bottom side to try something happening. Try to make something happen. Gap open at about 1.5 seconds, which isn't a lot. I think they are in the realm of kind of being there.
Yeah. See, Gore able to caught up to Turnquist and is now having to shove him forward just to keep them within draft range. As you see, Westergreen and Thomas, they've dropped to the bottom. And it looks like they're going to get ahead of a Nabnet, maybe. Thomas is working on it.
No, not quite. Doesn't have the gap.
Yeah, but now Westergreen drops down. Will Turnquist and Gore follow?
They sure will.
Yeah, but they tuck back in line. Well, you see the second pack. They're just within the camera shot. So we might have action brewing here before we know it.
On board here with William White. He is the leader of the second pack, and they are absolutely there. They're going to be there by turn 3, I think.
Yeah,
gap there, 2 tenths, 1 tenth, 6 tenths.
And if you're the back 4 who have already been showing that they want to make the move, do you jump down and join them? And no one's going to the bottom.
Doesn't look like they're able to get the run. Nothing really happened there. We'll see what happens when...
Oh, there we go.
William White goes with his fellow countryman.
And there comes Westergreen and Thomas. Here we go.
Action brewing on the bottom. Lots of takers there. Here comes Gerald. Here comes the Leighton.
This is the best run the inside line has had in who knows how long. But you see Pecumer duck out of line up into the outside. That's going to hurt the inside just a little bit, but they're still making hay.
Up to the side of Tommy Ryan. He's in 7th now. We've seen this inside line be able to make their way up to like 2nd or 3rd, but really not able to make a charge up to the lead. But we're losing laps in this race, so hopefully they can make that move and get it up there. I think right there, Ray has caught this pack as well, or caught the inside line. You have the numbers.
And you wonder if you're going to get any help from up ahead. Obviously, you know, the 3 Lake Norman cars up ahead, they're not going to look to jump. But I doubt Matthew Weeks will want to jump either, seeing what happened the last time he made that move. Lucky to get back up into the top 3 that he has.
Good Josh Chin, though, do you try to make that move? Right there in about 5th position, and he's got 4 Lake Norman cars ahead of him, so he's kind of the maker of his own destiny at this point. I think the bottom line might be the best place for him to go if he wants to do something, but right now, just not a ton of momentum. They do need another car. We're here with David Westergreen. He's pushing that number 4, Johnny Thomas, along, and you can see they made their way up to the side of JP Phillips. That is position number 5. Excuse me, 6. I can't count.
Got a nice run here off of turn 4. Seems like the farther away they stay, the better they go.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and I think they are kind of noticing that as well. It's side draft, of course, you know, when you think about it, was not really a topic of discussion back in this era. Not too terribly much. So makes sense that you'd want to have some distance, but, you know, old habits die hard, and we could say that's actually new habits in this sense.
Yeah.
We got lap traffic.
Yeah, we
there,
got a lap car.
Up to P4, up to P3.
Yeah, but this is exactly what happened the last time we saw this line make their way up. They caught up to a lap car. I believe it's Sam Boutwell again, and that killed the momentum just enough to kill off the hopes of the inside. Oh, and they're going to catch Sam here.
Matthew Weeks, though, looks like he's taking that opportunity to duck down. Look at him side by side with Frank Foti. This is the first time he's really jumped the inside in a while. Let's see what they can do. Bump from behind from Johnny Thomas. Oh, sideways is Frank Foti. It is kind of... Ooh, that's gonna...
Oh, this is getting hectic, and David Westergreen has been spit out. He's trying to fight for some space.
Why? That's not going to help matters at all for really anyone. Ooh, it's sideways a little bit, but they kept it under them. Oh, sideways!
Holy crackers. What a save for both drivers. I don't think they're going to lose the draft. They lost their track position, but I believe they're still in the draft here, but that's going to maybe kill off the inside lane. Weeks is doing a good job holding up to around 2nd place.
It's only 3 cars right now. Weeks, Thomas, and Gore. Joe Campbell, and who is that? That looks like Caleb Humer. Yep, that's him back there. They're way back there, not really providing any help, so it's going to have to be now.
See Dave Hugg going on pit road, getting out of the way of the lead draft. You appreciate that?
If side but battle for the lead, Weeks has caught him. Weeks has caught Foti.
And they're starting to get some help. The cavalry is here. You got Peculiar, Turnquist, Crump joining the fray on the inside.
Look back there, it's Goody. Well, he just went to the top, but Goody was providing some help as well.
Well, you see the 3 in the back just barely hanging on, just almost out of draft ranges. Frank Foti giving a shot to his son. Tyler got loose because of it. Now Weeks is going to be side by side for the lead.
Yeah, this is the best that run that inside line has had basically all race. It's taken them 130 laps, but they have finally done it. And Matthew Weeks, good push from behind. Johnny Thomas, Gore, and Caleb Peculiar, they have all helped in that matter. But yeah, we have a battle for the lead now, and it is getting dicey up here. Under 30 laps to go.
And if you're Norgard and company, you've lost the draft. You are doing the caution dance right now. And we might be getting it.
Yeah, you sharp.
Oh.
Look at this. Look at this good onboarder from Fody here. Look at that lap car.
And it's Dave Huck again, getting to the inside, letting everyone go by. Appreciate that from Huck, as Matthew Weeks is all alone in the lead of this race. Joshua Chin, lone man on the third lane. I don't know if that was by design. He might be going backwards.
Matthew Weeks playing the lanes a little bit up to the outside to draft the Lake Norman cars, then down to the inside to draft Johnny. Back to the outside he goes. Where's Tyler Fody gonna go?
He's gonna have the push from his dad no matter where he goes right now, sticking behind.
Oh, we're getting dicey behind them. Bryce Fody was almost up in the wall there. That was as close as you could get without actually doing it.
Also, don't look now. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 Lake Norman behind Weeks there on the top side.
More lap cars here right in front of this group. Looks like that's going to be Art Reimer and Josh Osborne. Maybe at the top of the racetrack. Not sure if they will stay there, but that's where they're at now. Matthew Weeks, he's gonna be mirror driving here.
And hopefully he's also windshield driving, getting through the lap cars.
Oh, nice. Sideways,
Thomas! Oh, we got Turnquist going around as well, and there's the caution. But somehow they don't no, they're wrecking up in the front. What just happened? What in the world happened up front?
And that changes everything. Weeks around. I think both Fodies around. 2 of the 3 Fodies, we'll call that.
I have no words. That is
Lord
bad.
have mercy.
Just when we thought we were all right, both Thomas and Turnquist were able to get it back going straight.
Oh.
Like, look at that. And then they wreck right up at the front.
I think Fody went for a hole.
Lots of process right there. Forward here with Thomas. Forward here with Tyler Fody. He's going to the outside of Weeks and... simultaneously, I mean, going for the lead as they're wrecking behind. And was the caution out by that point?
I believe
it was. It just come out.
It was not. It was not.
Huh.
I just have no words. Yeah, we're still green right here.
So then maybe this was the caution here.
So Weeks is going to go into the wall, and then from behind, Frank's going to hit Tyler. Interesting. I'm not really sure what. Well, let me go back and I'll do some investigative work real quick.
Well, while Cam puts his detective hat on, we will take what is hopefully our last break before the checker flag, and we'll be back.
So at this frame, this is when the caution is out. But yeah, we'll be right back.
Alrighty, we are back and ready to get back at it, and boy howdy, if you thought things were crazy before, just you wait. We're gonna have 24 laps to go. And we have Fody 1-2, but Frank and Bryce this time around. Frank Fody gonna lead us back to the restart zone. Green means going. We're back underway at Daytona, and you see Chin jumping out of line. A lot of people jumping out of line. Was not a great restart for a few. Whoa, this is gonna get absolutely nuts. We are 3 wide right now. Here comes Turnquist to the inside of Nabnett and Chin. Meanwhile, the lead 4 there up in the high side. Turnquist getting the shove from Tommy Ryan here.
First time we've seen this all night, but yeah, don't look now. Tyler Fody, he's already back in the camera shot right there at the top right of
Whoa,
your
we got a
screen.
car in the wall. Johnny Thomas. It's all right. He's Johnny able to get off of the wall. We stay clean and green. Whoa! David Westergreen trying to jump up in front of Austin and Nabnett. Whoa, that was real close. But Westergreen is getting his way back up here. Meanwhile, it is still the Fodies leading up at the front. Tyler just a couple cars away from joining his family.
And new position number 3 driver Daniel Gore. What can he do up there? His South Shore teammates several cars behind in David Westergreen, but here comes Chad Turnquist on the bottom. Push from Tommy Ryan there in the 66. There's William White as well, and I think Tyler Fody there is on the bottom now.
No,
well, he was on the bottom.
Yeah, he is up right there behind Campbell on the high side. So it sounds like someone might be getting a drive-through. I think I heard it was one of the Joshes. It might be
It's probably Josh
Osborne.
Osborne. He got a black flag when green flag came out.
All right, that'll answer that.
And I believe he has
Meanwhile,
already
here-
served it.
That would explain, because yeah, he is just now exiting turn 4. Meanwhile, Turnquist getting the shove from Tommy Ryan, trying to get up and make it side by side for the lead of this race. Frank
Oh, look
Fody
at that.
tried to,
Yep, there they are.
he is there, and he's taking the lead.
What a run for the bottom there. Chad Turnquist to the lead with a push from Tommy Ryan. Here comes William White as well. He's had a bit of a race himself. Been involved in a couple of incidents, but here he is up at the front of the field.
Yeah, just like that, it's kind of cost some track position for the outside lane. And now we're 3 wide. Hardcastle, Thomas, and Gore.
Here comes William White to the bottom.
He's jumped in front of a late Norgard leading that inside lane. As Turnquist and Ryan, they have jumped up to the high side. They're in complete control of the race right now. As right now, that's hurt the inside. They're starting to fall apart. Gord now jumps down.
Yep,
It's a
big
brick
run from Gore.
1-2.
Might be too big. He gapped William White a little bit behind, but here comes William to catch him up. There are 20 laps to go, so it is, if it hasn't been yet, it is absolutely go time.
Yeah, I think I think we're now gonna get into that crazy time. Reckless abandon from everyone on this track right now.
Hearing that the bottom two drivers, or the first 2 drivers on the bottom, you're hearing that that's the It's Coming Home train. It's Daniel Gore and William White, the 2 Brits in the field that I believe Nigel
The
Stock
British
is,
are
not
coming!
running
The British are coming!
anymore. They sure are. They are side by side with Tommy Ryan there in the 66 for second. Can they make that move on Turnquist there on the inside?
And
They
they're
are
there.
side by side with them.
Turnquist thought about making the block, and he elected not to. Gore all alone in the lead of this race, and now what does he do? Does he stay with his compatriot on the inside, or does he take the preferred lane up high? As now White and Gore are clear.
It's coming home. He stays with his compatriot there. The English 1-2 right now. They have taken over this field. It's Leighton Norgard there in third. He has had a bit of a race up to this point, 18 laps to go, and it's single file 1, 2, 3 battle for fourth. Side by side, Johnny Thomas and Chad Turnquist now. We saw Johnny Thomas actually in the last wreck there, a little bit of damage on the left rear of that race car, but still running fine in the 4.
Yeah, and he also got the wall again on this current run, but no worse for the wear is the 4 car.
No surprise seeing a Morgan McClure themed looking race car running well at Daytona. That's kind of what they did. And Johnny put a good run up here tonight. There's Josh Osborne there going a lap down up there, gonna take the outside in the 07. And well out of the way, gonna be fine. In the wall a little bit. Stay up there, Josh.
Oh boy, gut check moment for everyone. As you see, Turnquist has jumped to the inside. All of a sudden, the inside lane is now where you want to be. The flip has script with under 20 to go.
There's a
Player
gap.
up there in the top 10. Ray Bracey, he's been wrecked as heck most of this race, but look at him right there in the Robbie Gordon looking car.
Yeah, look at Connor Thompson as well, right ahead of that 7 car. A whole lot of new players up here.
Love seeing these stories kind of play out at the end of this race. 17 laps to go. We're coming to 16 to go. Look at all the...
Oh, Gerald Campbell
Oh,
gets
my
off
goodness.
turn 4. That's going to cause a checkup towards the tail end of this pack, and we're 3 wide.
I thought that was going to be a caution there, but he kept it up there.
You and I
We are
both.
Good.
As now that's put Tyler Fode all the way almost at the very back of this lead pack. You look at all the separation we got. Right now, Daniel Gore all alone in the race lead. And the Fodes, they thought they had control. They are where you thought you wanted to be. But now all of a sudden, it is inside or nowhere as Hardcastle's jumped to the outside of them. They're trying to get the energy built back up in that second lane. So we're coming to 15 to go.
I don't think we've talked about Hardcastle at all up to this point. He's been kind of laying back there most of this race, I believe. But look at him right up there, up in this top 10. And he is up in the play for it at this point in that Jeff Green, I believe, was the driver of that car themed machine. Oh, I thought
Lord have
so mercy.
You and I were thinking the same thing. My goodness, Joshua Chin.
Definitely tell the intensity is as high as it is pretty much gonna be at this point. Chin going up to the outside.
3 wide. Campbell sending it 3 past Frank Fode. Frank is joining his son at the back of this pack.
Oh, no! Frank.
And he turns in front of his teammate and he spins himself out. And caution is out. Oh, we got another wreck. Bryce Fode and Chad Turnquist.
My, oh my, how the terms have tabled.
Wow, what in the world just happened? Yeah, Frank just clears himself off of Caleb, and then you see Bryce get up into the wall. Oh, and he took out Tyler with him. All 3 Fodes caught up in that incident.
All Lake Norman crash right there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Even getting Austin and Nabnett.
Oh wow, that's
brutal.
To be a fly on the wall in the Lake Norman voice chat. Wow.
That's brutal.
Oh, hello,
my
Bojo.
goodness.
some added sponsorship exposure for Mojo. Meow.
I think we might have almost guaranteed a Lake Norman loss with that one. That is brutal.
Yeah, you still have Crump up there in P10, and Pecumer didn't get as much damage, if any. But yeah, the Fodies and an Abnett, that might be all she wrote.
Yeah, what a shame. I mean, Tyler Fody led about 120, 30 laps, I think is the number for the 40 car, but it's not really going to matter too much tonight. 12 laps to go, and
No meatballs, by the way.
all of the Lake Norman cars here involved in a late race wreck. The hood on the 60 getting shoved back down, and they're gonna hopefully pin it back and keep it down. But yeah, lots of change up here at the front. Let's go through it real quick. Daniel Gore is your leader. He leads over William White, Leighton Norgard third, Johnny Thomas fourth, Chad Turnquist fifth, Connor Thompson sixth, seventh is Ray Bracey, eighth Tommy Ryan, ninth is Kyle Hanshaw, and Scott Crump is 10th. Mentioned him just a minute ago as being the leading Lake Norman car now. We have 23 on the lead lap up to this point, but wow, James, what a that's one of those wow moments. You got to process it just a minute, because the whole race, I mean, just domination. It's almost like, remember the Talladega race where Stuart Haas kind of just really controlled the whole race. What if they lost that race? Lord have mercy. That's kind of what we're thinking about right now at this point. But definitely a lot of change here late on, and lots and lots of 160 laps. That get a lot of time for stuff to happen.
Yeah, you can say that again. And you also have to keep in mind there are no green-white checkers. Our race here at Daytona last season ended under caution. So that has to be in the back of the mind of everyone out on track right now.
Certainly is, and it looks like definitely most of the top 10 are going to be series regulars here. Chad Turnquist might be the only one who's making a one-off start, but he is an elite driver. He is not a non-elite driver. We are one to green, and good point you brought up there, James. No green-white checkered, so we do have to mind our P's and Q's here coming to the end of this race. I think if we get a caution past 5 to go, it might be over.
Yeah. I think if it's 5 to go, there might be a chance, but 4 to go, yeah, that will probably be it, or we might get the dreaded one-lap shootout. But with that, hopefully we do not get it. We're going to have 10 laps to go when we go back green here.
And what a race it's been up to this point. I just noticed our viewer count shot up in YouTube, so if you are just joining us, you have missed quite a bit up to this point. A lot's changing in this last caution. Lake Norman kind of stepping on a landmine themselves and throwing the race kind of up in the air for anyone else. Tyler Fody leading the most laps up to this point. He is well back in the field, back in the position number 22 for this restart. So it's gonna take a miracle for Lake Norman to undo that. But yep, we'll have 10 to go here, and it's gonna be a fun one.
Yes, it will. Here we go. Daniel Gore will lead us back to the green flag. Greeny's going well, back underway. 10 to go at Daytona. Oh man, Mike Goodman was in third on that restart, and that's going to cause a little bit of a scatter in the back. Meanwhile, it looks like Tommy Ryan is getting held out to dry. Here comes Kyle Hanshaw. Oh,
hard wall
into the outside wall.
Westergreen's killed.
Yeah, that's big damage. He's not even driving straight. That's gonna be day done for the 22. Big. That is a shame. He was having a good run up there, and only one South Shore car up at the front.
Yeah, that seems to be D West's luck now, doesn't it? Yeah, tally going on Scott Crump. Meanwhile, Daniel Gore continues to lead this race.
9 laps to go. I mean, what's going through his head? He's had a really, really, really tough season in the 03 Cup Series up to this point, but with 8 laps to go out of turn number 4, once he reaches the line, could really, really reverse that with a win. Win typically kind of makes any bad season go in the opposite direction. So Daniel would love to get that, but so would William White. He'd love to get a win as well. We're going to see a new winner in this series, probably looking at the top 10 here. The only other winner we have, Josh Chin, Tyler Fody, and let's see, Tate Lytle. He's not here tonight, so Josh Chin, he is back there in 15th. Tyler Fody is 22nd, so I'd say a great, great, great opportunity for us to get a new winner tonight.
Absolutely. As you see, Bracey trying to make the move on Connor Thompson Gardner, and he will not. Ray getting held out to dry.
Not what you want with 7 laps to go. It's hard to make those positions, but he's got some throw.
Oh, no, Ray gets turned!
He's upside down. Gerald Campbell is involved.
Oh.
Well, James, we're going to have like a 2-lap shootout, I think, here.
Yep. Yeah, Campbell's going to give him a massive shove and knocks Ray up into the wall. Up and over goes the 7 car.
Just Gerald trying to push the 7 along here, but just not what you can do in these cars. You can't give a bump that big.
Nope.
See, he just turns the 7 around. I mean, obviously not trying to, but that's what you're gonna have when just a lot of it. We have learned so many bad habits over the years with the changing of the cars and the way everything is kind of now. You see Ray can't even get the car onto the road. It's so broken. But we've just learned so many bad habits, and maybe not even bad habits. No tech lid on that car. Look at that. That's crazy. But just one of those things that you wouldn't really have happen back in the day, because that's just not how we raced. And but hey, it is what it is. No fault of really anyone. It's just how racing has evolved, especially stock car racing. We give those big shots in the next gen now because it's fine and it works, and it's not what we did back in 2003.
No, it is not. Oh boy. I don't know what we're gonna be watching here in a few laps here, Cam.
Definitely going to be an interesting one. Hearing some rumblings over the radio too that, hey, we're going to let 2 British drivers get a 1-2 in the Firecracker 400, but well, it is the way it is. So at least they're not Belgian, right? Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, 5 laps to go. It's probably going to be 3 to go at the line when we get going green here. So we would hope to. It gives you really about a lap and a half of real racing once we get up to speed, and that's not a lot of time for a move to get formulated here. So it's going to be interesting.
That it will. It's the calm before the storm.
So we're about 3 hours into this race, and I would definitely have to agree with that. The good news is, you brought it up just a minute ago, no green, white, checkered, so we will race the scheduled distance one way or another. We will not be here for 25 minutes of overtime. And there we go, 1-2 green. So this is going to be the last restart of the race.
Yeah, point of no return. 3 laps to go. And what could very well be the wildest 3 laps of the 03 Cup Series season. Daniel Gore looking for his first career elite win in any series. William White trying to break a little bit of a winless streak. And not quite sure when the last time a late Norgard was able to take the checker flag in elite race.
I think we got a lot of drivers up here with some winless streaks. I know Johnny Thomas won a few weeks back in ARCA, so he's got to be probably about the shortest up here in the top 10. Looks like. I mean, Scott Crump. He's really. Definitely, Johnny is the shortest up here in the top 10. A lot looking for their first wins up here in the top 10 as well, so it's going to be a wild one.
That it is. As we see the pace car getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road for the final time tonight. Daniel Gore is going to lead us back to the green flag. Green means go. We are back underway. 3 laps to go from Daytona. See already a couple cars jumping out of line.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Whoa, Gore trying to throw the block on White. Oh my goodness. Oh, slaloming all over the place, and White is going to maybe finally get to the outside of Gore. Oh, we're 3 wide. Oh, come on, boys. Hold on for at least another couple laps. Let's get a natural checker flag here. White trying to get... But go on, Cam.
These are super aggressive pushes here, but that's what you got to do here. Comes Tommy Ryan on the outside, looking 3 wide with Norgard. Oh, yeah. Daniel Gore is almost getting turned.
Oh, Phillips in the wall trying to give the shot. to his teammate Tommy Ryan. Oh my goodness, Chad Turnquist almost got turned, trying to shut the door on Connor Thompson-Gardner. 2 laps to go. Gore is all alone out in front. That might be too far out in front. He's gonna have 3 lanes to block. I don't know if he's gonna do it. Big sideways for Ryan. Big sideways for Ryan. For the lead. It's William White right now. William White doing the caution dance, and here comes Ryan to the race lead. Gore starting to fall back, and
Big
it's
push
Tommy
from Ryan.
all out in front. He's got his teammate. Oh, we're
Where did they go?
We got a car. Oh, party and pepper Connor Thompson-Gardner. We're breaking in the back, but we're still green.
Oh, wow.
Caution,
And
caution.
there's the caution. Oh my goodness, and it looks like it's gonna be Tommy Ryan.
Wow. What a race. That Tommy Ryan with a huge push at the end from his unacceptable racing teammate, JP Phillips. He's definitely going to be given a big thanks to him in his winter interview. That was a big teammate moment there for those two, but out of almost nowhere.
Wow, that was wild.
So much action that James, I think your mic cut out about about 75% of what you said. So
Yeah,
that was,
that's probably for the best for everyone's hearing.
that was wow, what a race though. It is 10:30 on the East Coast here, so we can call that about exactly 3 hours later. It's going to be 2 unacceptable racing cars here on the podium. William White finishes in second. Leighton Norgard fourth.
Gotta let the pace
Kyle
go by.
Hanshaw comes home in fifth.
He's not keeping speed.
And finally, coming to the checker flag, Tommy Ryan will win at Daytona. What a drive. Tommy Ryan, your race winner with William White and his teammate JP Phillips join him in the top 3.
Well, $100 more in his bank account.
What an awesome race that was. Old Daytona puts on a show. I mean, we know about the shortcomings of the drafting package with this car, but even still, I mean, we got a show out of it, and it was we saw everything that race. It was really fun. Really fun to watch, and we're kind of getting there down to the twilight hours here at Daytona, just as it should be at the end. Well, I'll say at the end of the 500. We can't have the lights here as it should be for the 400. I would love for iRacing to change that and give us lights in this version of Daytona, but that's what we got. And you know what? Twilight at Daytona is beautiful. And I think what's going to be beautiful here for Tommy Ryan is going to be some victory burnouts. He's going to go ahead and park it right here and start his celebratory burnouts. He's your fourth winner in the series, but it's been all Josh Chin, all Tyler Fody, and all Tate Lytle up to this point. And he adds his name to the list of winners here in the Batflip Podcast 2003 Cup Series. In what is probably, well, I would say undoubtedly, the most wild last 20 to 30 laps of the season we've seen.
Yeah, I think that's putting it mildly. That was absolutely insane.
We've been talking for a long time, James and Carlos. He's been producing for a long time. These drivers need to have a moment to get out. They've been racing for 3 hours. So why don't we take our final break of the night, presumably, and we'll get the interviews for you shortly.
Alrighty, we are back and now ready to get started with our top 3. But first, we're going to go ahead and look at the final results. Your race winner, Tommy Ryan from William White and JP Phillips. Leighton Norgard and Kyle Hanshaw round out the top 5. Joshua Chin, Daniel Gore, Mike Goodman, Nigel Stock, and Josh Osborne rounding out the top 10.
Finishing in 11th is Andrew Hardcastle, Johnny Thomas, 12th, 13th, Bryce Fody, 14th, Scott Crump, 15th, Austin Abnett. A lot of these Lake Norman cars involved in those late race incidents back here. Caleb Cumer, 16th, 17th, Andy Lewis, 18th, Cale Pocock, 19th, and 20 will be Frank and Tyler Fody.
Gerald Campbell in 21st, Chad Turnquist, Art Reimer, Connor Thompson Garner, Dave Huckleberry, top 25, David Westergreen, Ray Bracey, Sam Boutwell, Matthew Weeks, and Randy Yoakum, the top 30.
31st will be Chad Frankfield, AJ Hobson, 32nd, 33rd, Jared Rexing, 34th, Trey Holmes, 35th, Curtis Cochran, 36th, Gavin Hibbs, 37th, Jeff Ryan, 38th, Dustin Dewar, and 39th. And last will be Mark Rabilis. But with that, I believe that we're going to go ahead and get your interviews underway here. And, well, someone just, our leader left the channel, or our winner left the channel, but we do have third, and, well, James, I believe you got him.
Yes, sir. JP, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, James, how are you guys?
All right, man. How about that? Those final 3 laps were wild. You gave Tommy the push of a lifetime there.
Yeah, man, I don't know what was going on. It just, the top just opened up, and we just took the opening. You go where they're not. Late in these races, at these plate races, you just find the gaps and go where they're not. And I was following him. Something in that wreck before, the caution before that, something, I got hit, car coming off the banking, and it must have bent something in the right rear because the car was crazy loose. So just wanted to follow him up through there, and it worked out, and glad I could bring it home third. So it was a pretty wild race, a lot of fun. These cars are crazy to drive here, man. It's over those bumps. You're just hanging on along for the ride, and probably the most challenging drafting experience. Because man, you make the wrong move, you lift at the wrong time, and you immediately lose the draft. So you got to be on your game all the time.
Yeah, how difficult was it out there, especially also having to kind of dodge a lot of the stuff going on as well?
It was very difficult. Those guys on the bottom, they would get big runs, and if you left any sort of gap, especially early on in the race, if you left any sort of gap, they'd slide up in front of you, and then that would cause big checkups, and that accordion effect would work its way back through the field, and then all of a sudden you're up somebody's bumper. So like I said, it was, you had to be on your game, paying attention the whole race. There was no time to rest, no time to linger around there. And I was really shocked because it was so hard to run through the field. One of the other cautions, I had to run down pit road to miss the caution, got the black flag, and had to start in the back. And that was late. So to be able to work my way through the field that really shocked me as well, because it was hard to pass. There was not a lot of room there, and this old Daytona track, it's hard to go 3 wide. You got to have some good guys here to go 3 wide.
Yeah, it was also difficult, it seems, just keeping the lines alive to even get to 2 wide.
It was. These things move around a lot, and you get those big runs and those checkups. And like I said, if you lift out of the throttle at the wrong time, especially at the end of the straightaways, man, you can lose that. You can lose the draft in just a heartbeat. You get more than a couple car lengths off of somebody, and that's it. You're just hoping for the next caution to get caught up. But with these bumps, these things move around so much. You just hang on and hope the guy below you or the guy above you is a good wheel man.
Absolutely, but man, awesome run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, just a big shout out to Tommy. I know that was a big win for him, and happy to see him get one here. And glad to be the one that was able to push him to the front. And I think we came from like 12th on that 11th and 12th on that restart. So big shout to Tommy and the whole Unacceptable team. I think Randy and Jeff had a little rougher nights. Big shout out to the Batflip Podcast guys, and Tyler and Chad and everybody for putting this series on, and especially this race, to do a 400-mile race here. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, JP, and hopefully we're talking to you again in a couple weeks here.
Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Alrighty, and now Cam is going to talk to our runner-up, William White.
Yep, sure. I'm William White. This is Cameron in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, 160 laps. A lot of stuff happened. That was a lot more action than I think we thought was going to happen. Kind of, especially there in the last 20 laps. It almost looked like that you and Daniel were gonna 1-2 whoop the Americans here on the Firecracker 400 race, but you end up in second. Tell us about your run from your perspective.
Yeah, no, it was a very, very, very interesting race. I mean, it started out, honestly, quite boring. I started second, I think, or near the front, I actually forget. I was kind of riding around, stick to the bottom, play it safe, and once we got a couple cautions down, everyone was getting their bearings in, and I was just staying around the mid to high teens, not worrying about where I was going to be, and just playing it safe. And there was a point I thought I was going to fall asleep around the halfway point. I mean, it's 3:45 a.m. over here, and I was struggling to keep my eyes open, but it turned on a dime in that last 20, like you said, and somehow found my way near the front. I pushed Daniel all the way from about 12th all the way to just holding the lead easily. And on that last yellow, with like 5 to go, he asks me, what are the plans? I go, whatever we do, just try and ruin Independence Day for these people. Unfortunately, we didn't do that. Obviously, Leighton Norgard being my teammate was in third. The plan was always to try and get into the lead with us too, but Johnny and Carl, who we knew were teammates, pulled out before, so we moved a bit earlier than we ideally wanted to. We didn't want to get stuck on the bottom, boxed in. That was the last thing we wanted, and Daniel, to be fair to him, was throwing some sketchy but good blocks, but managed to sneak a nose on him, and it was looking like we might have had a shot at it, coming into 3 behind Tommy, but the caution came out, so that's fair game. And yeah, I wanted that $100, I'm not gonna lie, but P2 on paper isn't a bad result.
Yeah, no, I want to ask about those first 180 or so laps. It was quite the Lake Norman stranglehold on the race, and you found yourself in the middle of it a few times. And I mean, ultimately, it looked like Lake Norman kind of stepped on a landmine themselves and made it easy for everyone. But I mean, what was the plan kind of up to that point? Because we saw a lot of people like try to make runs on Lake Norman, but they could not actually get anything working. Did you kind of have something in mind before they made it easy for you?
I think the plan A was always just to get to lap 160, and then whatever will be. And beyond that point, it's Daytona. It's 3903 cars. To get to the end itself is a feat. There was only, I think, 20 odd cars on the lead lap itself, and most of whom didn't see the checkered flag. So yeah, it was just survival for the first 100 laps until we actually got to the front with Daniel. And then obviously that all ensued, but it was just survival. Like I say, Tyler, I think Tyler and Frank were the main two having a stranglehold. I was mainly around Bryce and Caleb for most of the race, around the top 10, 15, but they were also working really well together, tried to sift through the pack to get with their Lake Norman teammates. They've always been really good at plate tracks. Obviously, they've got Foti teaching them, so and he's one of the best. So that's always going to be a good combination to have. But from what I see, they did kind of, say step on a landmine. I think they ended up wrecking each other. I saw Tyler Foti was facing the wrong way with about 20 to go, and we just took any opening we could to break that monopoly and almost got it done.
And one more question. I asked James this. I gotta ask you this now. Is there any significance to the 66 rank? Because I asked James, or I did inform James. I'm sure you know well, that is the last year that England won the World Cup.
Yes.
So,
for 11 more days.
Is it coming home?
I think it is. I truly do. The delusion has worn off. After the Croatia game, we're all up in arms. Oh my God, we're the best. But after the Mexico game, I think we have a chance. And what a better time to win the World Cup than America's 250th birthday, where the president will hand us the trophy. I can't think of anything more poetic than that.
And with that, do you have any sponsors or shoutouts?
Absolutely, yes. Obviously, first and foremost, thank you to the Elite Racing League, Elite Racing Network, yourself and James and Carlos putting on the show, of course, letting us go racing here. Chad and all the admins that were behind the scenes, Josh Adams on race control, all my teammates, Leighton Norgard, Andrew Hardcastle, Nigel Stock, Kale Pocock. They were all working with me in various capacities. Ted Elsie at Leighton was obviously planning to be my ticket to the victory, or maybe I was being his ticket to the victory, but we were working well up there for the end of that race. I've got to give a special apology to Dangle. I kind of lulled him into a false sense of security. Yeah, I betrayed my fellow countrymen, but I wanted that 100. Maybe on a different day I would have just pushed him to it. But yeah, obviously, University of Chichester, their esports program as well. Infinity Graphics Designs, obviously Andrew Hardcastle runs that, painted my car, and everything. Of course, my partner Holly as well was watching the entire time at this ridiculous hour. And shout out to all the drivers. Congratulations, Tommy, on the win, and all the other 39 drivers that took part. It made it a good event.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking some time to talk to us, William. Great run out there in second. And, well, we know you've been kind of part-time this series. Hopefully we'll be seeing you at Richmond in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll be talking to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you.
All right. That's one left for the night, and James is with our grand finale.
Yep, time to talk to the man of the hour, Tommy. James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, how about that? First of all, take us through the push of a lifetime you got from your teammate there.
That was it. I when he got the penalty on the previous caution and he had to shorten the end of the longest line, I was just like, well, we're kind of done. I'm just going to try to do the best I can. And by the time we got going again and had a little decent run, looked up and he was right there behind me again. I was like, hey. So we went to work on the last run, and I didn't know if the top would come back and work or not. It was, I was able to push. Can't remember who that was I was pushing, but pushed him all the way to the lead on the bottom. And I thought that was just kind of a fluke thing. I wasn't sure if the top was pushing that hard. I mean, I was overheating by the time I got him out front, but wasn't sure what would happen there at the end. I was like, I'm just going to go where the hole is, and that's what I did. And they just never really filled it. And before I knew it, I was, had a car length out front, and then it was just like, I'm just going to block whatever comes. And caution came out. That was just unbelievable. I would never dreamed I would get back up there. I think I started somewhere around 12th or 15th or something on that restart, and just went on the outside and just walked right up there. It was like a gift.
Yeah, how much of a sigh of relief was it when you saw the yellow flag come out?
Oh, it was just like your ship came in. It was kind of like, I was hoping it would, but when I got out there, I was like, now just let a yellow fly. You kind of don't want to see that for real, but and these things are so hard to win, especially plate racing. It's literally a lottery. You're so dependent on what everybody else is doing to make the best decisions you can to get the best finish. And a lot of times, I, 1 out of 100 I'll win one, and then 99% of the time I make bad decisions and which lane to be in, who to push, who not to, and all that stuff. But man, this is a huge surprise. It's like I said, it's like a lottery, man.
Yeah, and it really was the case, just having to avoid a lot of the chaos. This is a pretty wild race for 03 Cup Series standards.
Yeah, the car was moving around a lot, especially, it wasn't bad when we were single file on the top. If you got a little bit, as you were exiting, I felt it out of 4 more than anything. If you got too far to the right off the guy's bumper just after the center, heading towards turn 4, you would kind of pick up a push and you had to put wheel in it. Then it felt like it was going to get a little push loose. I was getting free. Someone was really packing air. I was getting free in, especially in the one. But it wasn't wrecking loose, but you definitely felt it getting light. And then as we were getting too wide, especially coming down the back, someone was packing air on you, and then you had somebody right on your door. Car was really kind of moving around. You had to, pretty much drive the thing to keep it under control. So track was really bumpy on the bottom. So it was a lot of you're having to wheel the thing. It was wearing you out, man.
Yeah, and it was interesting trying to see everyone get a second lane built up, and I think that caught a lot of people off guard right there at the end, with all of a sudden the inside being the place to be when everyone was fighting to get up by the wall.
Yeah, that surprised me too. I mean, I guess maybe when they saw me push the one car out there, that looked like it would probably work, and I wasn't 100% sold on it. But then everybody just started bottom feeding, and then the top, we had a few cars up there, and we couldn't do anything. But I think what helped me there on the last run is when they were actually when we actually 3 wide. It just created a whole new dynamic with the aero package. So the top was prevailing there with very little help too. So I don't know how iRacing calculates all that, but it worked out for me. So I'm freaking blown away, man. To be honest with you.
Absolutely, a heck of a win for you. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks for my primary sponsor, Northern Tool and Equipment, and Jameson Custom Corvette. Thanks to Batflip and Chad for putting this series on. Don't have a huge car count in here, which I was kind of hoping we'd have closer to 30, but these things are a blast to drive. You gotta really wheel these things, and they can. It's got a bunch of horsepower, especially at the other tracks. I mean, we're plate racing tonight, but these things are a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks to those folks and you guys making us all famous. So appreciate it.
Alrighty, we appreciate you, Tommy, and hopefully we're talking to you again here in a couple weeks.
All right, man. Appreciate to see you.
Well, after all that, it's just about time for us to wrap it up. Cam, what are your closing thoughts after what we saw?
Well, it's almost hard to believe that points are a factor in this series, and you have Tyler Fody with a 93-point lead over Josh, and now 131 over Scott Crump after that. And we have 6 events left in the season, starting with 2 weeks in Richmond. That'll be fun. I'm pretty biased towards that, but I believe that should be a really good one with these cars. My home track. Always love seeing stock cars there. And then we have Auto Club Bristol, Talladega, another super speedway, Phoenix, and then Homestead to end it out in September. So should be a fun rest of the schedule. It's been pretty fun up to this point. Definitely got to say that the last 20 laps of Daytona was definitely some of the craziest action we've seen in Elite this season anywhere, really. That was definitely something. Was not expecting that.
Absolutely. But with that, it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Cameron Rich and Carlos Acosta, I'm James Watson, bidding you adieu till next time. Good night, everyone.